So it was. So you sold a horse to buy the wash machine, and then why wouldn't he hook it up?
Well, probably a year later.
But why didn't he hook it up?
I don't know. Probably because I was after him.
I think I heard that. I think he told me that you told him how to hook it up, and then he wouldn't do it.
Maybe.
A whole 6 months or a year?
It was at least a year.
Oh, I hadn't heard that story. Now I got to remember another one.
Yeah, that's right.
So I would haul my clothes to the laundromat.
Where was that at?
Harlow?
Oh, from this house? Oh,
no,
shit.
no, from the other one.
From the ranch?
From the ranch.
Well, I gave you a good excuse to go to town.
Yeah, but I always had to hurry home to pick up kids or something.
That's funny. What kind of wash machine was it?
It was a good one.
Was it a one horse?
Like this.
Oh,
like
it was a new modern one. Mm-hmm.
Traded a one horse for a one horse?
Well, I sold the horse, then I bought the
Yeah.
machine.
I remember my mother with a ringer washer
Oh yeah, my
when
mom
I was a
had
kid. Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
In the basement at this house right up here at Reggae.
Okay. Now ours was in the basement too in Helena.
And we had a stoker furnace down there.
Yeah.
And about this far off, well, it was probably a little further. Cistern was there.
Oh.
One big circle of stuff.
We had a big wood stove down in the basement, and I had to get wood we had this old box on wheels, and I would wheel that. I hated packing wood, and I'd pull that over there, and then I'd throw it down through the window into the basement, and then I'd have to go around, and I'd have to stack it.
Yeah.
And every night it was a fight, my mother and I. After school, I'd have to come home, do my homework.
We had horse and cow. Dad worked 100 hours a day up here, and none of my sisters. Nancy finally started helping me milk. But we had 6 cows at least,
Really?
all the time. But I always thought I was getting rich because the cream was coming in my money, but I never ever got it. Didn't figure it out till I was an adult that maybe it was a tax deal.
How many cows did you guys have when you were growing up?
You mean
Milk cows. Yeah, milk cows.
Oh, 8.
8 cows. And you sold cream?
That's what Harlowtown we sent ours to.
Billings, Harlow, Roundup, wherever.
Checks were usually around $15, and that was in the early 60s.
So cream cans, is that how you...
We had 5-gallon cans and 8-gallon cans.
The old cream cans?
You see, we didn't use the old real cream cans. We used the round ones.
Well, we had.
You had the real ones. We didn't have a real one.
Why'd they use them like that? Was they just keep the stuff cold or easy to stack?
Well,
or?
we kept it in the basement, and we'd separate probably.
We never did have
about
electric.
a gallon of cream a day, you know,
So 8 cows would make a gallon of cream a day?
at least.
What kind of cows were they?
Mostly Jersey.
Jerseys? So they had a high cream butterfat content.
We had one Jersey. We named her Judy after Judy Clark, Judy Patterson. She was so small and skinny.
That's
Then we had Mabel, Maud, Bessie, Frida, Myrna, Brindle. That should be about it.
And they were Holsteins?
Yeah. Well, 3 of them.
Okay.
Myrna, Frida, and Maud were Holsteins.
Well, we got ours from Leo Kramer.
Oh.
He got these jerseys from Oregon, Tillamook.
Tillamook, really?
That's where all the cheese is made.
Yeah, Tillamook Dairy's still going.
Anyway, they were about to have calves, and he said, if you want some of those jerseys, you go get what you want and pick them out, and pay me whenever.
Hmm.
So we got, I think, 4 or 5.
I paid $22 for each of my. I had two, one for 4-H, one because I had $22, I guess.
But anyway, they really had the cream.
Yeah, they were good. Yep.
One, she'd give a lot of milk to them, and she'd get milk fever
Oh yeah.
before she had a calf.
Hmm.
Did you ever
She would.
see that?
I really haven't. No.
Mhm.
Nope. They go down, don't they?
Huh?
Do they go down, or
Oh,
they
yeah.
get paralyzed, or?
Well, and you have to pump air into their bag.
I've heard that.
We had a special, like use it for electric lanterns
Yeah.
pump,
Yeah. You'd pump air into their bag.
and it had a little tit tube on
Yep.
the end,
Huh.
and they could be just almost dead, and you'd pump the air in, and an hour later they'd be up walking.
Wow. What would the air do?
I don't know.
That's something.
But this one, she got, putting her every year, she get, what did I say?
Milk
Milk fever.
fever. Like a week before she calved, or
Yeah, well, I think she was probably ready to calve.
ready to calve, and yeah. What was the first rodeo you ever saw?
Oh, probably Big Timber.
Yeah. How old were you?
Oh, I could have been maybe 10, I don't remember.
What'd you think of all that?
I think, well, whenever Kramer, I know, it was Kramer.
So that was Leo Kramer's rodeo. Yeah. And you knew them?
Huh?
Did you know them then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were neighbors.
Gotcha.
I remember Oral Zumwalt.
Yeah, I heard a lot
John
of.
G., you knew John G.
Yep. Yep.
And I remember before he was ever married, he had a Popcorn was the name of his horse.
Popcorn was a bulldogging horse?
Huh. He was white with brown spots. And I seen John about 3 years ago. Anyway, we started talking, and I said, "Oh, I remember you. First time I watched you, you was riding Popcorn. Oh, you knew me and Popcorn."
That's so funny.
You knew he died.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Well, his wife died in her sleep.
Yep. Yeah, he was my mom and Ralph's vet. They really liked him. They really liked him as a vet too. Yeah, good fella, but a good vet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know Amber Mapson's folks? Were they rodeoing around, or
Oh, yeah.
kind of in that same time period?
Well, they were newer. Lot newer.
Younger than John?
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, John, let's see, Joanne, when I was in grade school, she was just 2 years old.
Oh.
They lived in Gibson.
Oh, they did. When did they move to Stanford?
And then, well, they moved up there. Then I think they moved up south of Shawmut for a while. And then Stanford.
I see. Yeah. Was he a veterinarian then when he lived around here, or wasn't old enough to be?
No, I mean, Joanne was just,
Yeah,
she wasn't in school yet.
I see.
I used to ride up and, what was her brother, he was in the first grade maybe, or not even the first grade. He had a little Shetland pony, and he'd always ride it about 2 miles home with me, and then he could go back.
So he'd ride with you for a couple miles, and he'd go back home. Huh.
Spud.
That was his name, Spud?
Hmm.
Yeah. And what horse were you riding in those days?
Oh, gosh. I had Dynamite.
What was that?
It was black one.
Black, okay.
And-
Regular horse though, or not a pony?
Oh, he was about a fourth pony.
A fourth pony. Yep.
Mhm.
Good.
And then Lassie and Puss and I rode my dad's horses.
Yep.
Mhm.
To school,
No,
or just rode them everywhere?
well, we were 8 miles from Gibson. That's where we got our mail.
Ah.
So I would ride, and then coming back, there was Greens and Uplands and Falkersons and my grandma, and then us.
Hmm.
So I'd fill my mail bag and bring all their mail back for them.
So you haul mail, horseback.
For fun.
Yeah. Were people good horsemen in those days, or did they?
Oh yeah.
Everybody was good.
Sure.
Yeah. Horses were good then in those days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dynamite was my first one I broke. And then my dad sold him to Kramer's, hired help for a milk cow.
Traded for a milk cow for the horse.
Hmm.
A Jersey,
No, it was just a
just a cow.
cow.
Hmm.
And then Sonny Kramer bought it from, can't think of the guy's name, for George. So he was George's first pony.
Oh. So Dynamite was George Kramer's first pony.
And I said to his son, I said, well, I broke George's first pony. He said, oh, I know all about that.
So George had told him about it?
I don't know.
That's funny.
I didn't know how he found out.
Hmm.
He was really a nice little horse.
How old was he when you sold him?
Oh, probably 4 or 5,
I see.
maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
My dad never kept anything very long.
Yeah.
And
Is that how he made his living? A lot of it is selling horses?
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd break the horses and he'd take them to town and sell them. Never give me a penny. He didn't. And then I did my neighbor's chores for 60 cents a day.
60 cents a day.
Hmm.
How long did it take you?
Well, it was a mile and a half. I had to ride over.
So you'd ride over, do the chores, and ride back.
Hmm. And the first thing I bought was a bridle, because I think half of my bridles were twine strings.
So the first thing you ever bought with the money you earned is a bridle.
It
That's
was.
funny.
I wanted a bridle,
What kind of reins?
just regular reins.
They were split reins, yeah.
Yeah.
Did it have any fancy stuff on it?
No,
Just leather.
very plain.
Yeah.
Very, very, just a bridle. But it was a bridle.
Yeah. And what about saddles?
Well, I still have the old saddle out here.
Yeah. That you always rode?
Hmm.
Hmm. Who made it? Conley's?
Hamley.
No,
Hamley.
It was a Hamley?
no.
Oh, this one out here?
My new one was a Hamley.
Oh, yeah.
The old one was a Sentinel Butte,
Sentinel Butte from South Dakota.
North Dakota.
North Dakota, yeah.
But for a little while, they had a place in Billings, I guess. My dad went to a auction up by, just across the coulee, and bought this saddle.
At the auction.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And that was when I was 5, I think.
And this one, you got this one in the early 40s, the Hamley then.
Hmm.
And Eddie bought it for you?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's in nice shape.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
before that, I had a Hamley form-fitting family.
Did you really?
Well, my dad had it, but he didn't give it to me. He sold it as soon as I left.
Did you like it?
It was good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
We could barely lift Dad's on a horse when we had his saddle. It was a porter,
Oh yeah.
48 pounds.
No kidding.
Well,
Porter,
that-
California. They're from California, right? Porters were.
Was it
I
California?
think so.
Arizona wasn't it?
Oh, maybe it was. That was Arizona. Yeah, Visalia was in
California.
California, and then the Porters were kind of a Southwest. That's right. There you go.
Yeah, California didn't sound right, but I didn't know the answer.
Yeah, I guess I should have known that.
I used to get those catalogs and look at all that stuff.
Oh, I did too. Look at them boots with the eagles on them, and
So you would look at the catalogs, but
Never got what I wanted.
I never got a pair of boots out of there. I always got Acme's.
You were lucky. I never even had a pair of boots.
Well, you didn't have a cowboy hat till you were 100.
No. I
So you-
used, well, the only hats I had was Bobby's
Yeah.
hand-me-downs.
so you never had boots when you were a kid?
Mm-mm.
What'd you wear?
Well, you'd be surprised. The old ladies lace-up boots,
Oh, yeah.
lace-up shoes.
Yeah.
I think they cost about $1 a pair in Rapalje.
Were they comfortable?
Oh yeah.
Were they? Oh, good.
Hmm.
Had a heel?
No, just the little bit.
You wouldn't get. It wasn't dangerous to ride with them, though.
Well, I guess if I'd hung up, my
Yeah,
boot wouldn't come
wouldn't
off.
come off
Wasn't gonna
very
come
good.
off, no.
Yeah.
Did you ever get hung up or anything like that?
No, never did.
Yep.
Well, he made me ride bareback.
Oh.
All the colts, I had to just ride them bareback so I wouldn't get hung up.
So you'd get on them the first time bareback.
Mm-hmm.
How long would you ride them that way?
Oh, probably a week or so until
Yeah.
we got them going.
Mm-hmm. With your brand new bridle?
No, I didn't have the bridle yet.
I see. So you rode them with just a
Snaffle
snaffle
bit.
bit. I was wondering. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I just keep that horse in, and then the next morning I'd run the others in. And I guess it would just follow the
Yeah.
bunch, and I'd get them in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the best way.
Mm-hmm.
They got somewhere to go, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Would you lope them when you're riding bareback? Would you lope them and trot them and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how fast the horses was going.
You just kept up with them. That's pretty good stuff.
Mhm.
You ever fall off?
No,
Not much.
and they never bucked with me.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, I would sort of drive them around a little bit before I ever rode them. With the reins.
Yeah, like driving a team, but just yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So they sort of knew how to rein,
Yeah.
guide.
Yeah. You drove them from behind.
Mm,
You drove them from behind.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm,
Who helped you learn?
just me.
You just figured it out.
I just go up in the corral by myself. My dad never rode with me.
Hmm.
I mean, he rode every day, but he never rode when I rode the colts.
Just wait for you to break them so he could sell them.
Hmm.
Well, that's pretty nice.
A lot of history sitting
Yeah.
back there.
How old were you when you were starting colts, or when you first started?
Well, I know I was between the 6th and 7th grade.
That's when you started riding the young, and then you just kept doing it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Did you always ride him bareback first?
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Even when you got older and had saddles and stuff?
No, I think when I got older, I probably just saddled them.
Did you?
You know, reined them out and then rode them.
Yeah. Did Eddie tell you how to start horses?
Who?
Eddie?
No,
No, he didn't tell you how to do it?
no.
Did you tell him how to do it?
Well, probably.
Was he a good horseman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he probably was. I saw pictures. I like the way he sat a horse. He really sat nice.
Anyway, we let Ernie take some of our horses. He had Ginger and Topsy.
I remember Topsy. Well, I remember the name Ginger. I remember Topsy, the horse. Black.
But they were some that just, well, Topsy, Eddie's dad gave us. She was started. She was a Hamiltonian,
Oh.
and I put her in a trot at our place in the coulee and trotted her all the way to my folks' 8 miles, and she never broke a trot.
Wow.
They can really trot.
A Hamiltonian.
That's what they do, you know, in those big races, those
Yeah.
trotters.
Yeah. Was she smooth to ride?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where did she come from?
Big timber.
Okay.
Yeah, they just really trot. They're fast trotters.
Yeah. Covered a lot of country. Yeah.
Then, Lucky we bought from Shrod. She wasn't broke yet, but Gerald rode her some first.
Gerald
And-
Conley.
She was a good single foot, you know, but they had this big horse race in Rapplejay. My dad had a racehorse and this guy, Painted Road. They had this big horse race coming up, and when Eddie and I we went from the coulee to Rapplejay, rode over, and when we got into town and all the cars and stuff, she broke into a pace. And after that, I could put her in most any pace or single foot or whatever.
Really? So who won the race?
You know, I really can't remember for sure. I think my dad did. Gerald, Lawrence Johnson rode his horse.
Ah, no kidding. So he was small. Yeah. How old would have LC have been at that time?
He would have been about 18.
And I'm sure there's a little bit of money bet on some of those things.
Yeah. Anyway, then I rode a 2-year-old horse for another guy, and
In the race?
in a different race.
Yep.
And Wilkins and I almost said it. This other neighbor, they were in the race with me. Anyway, they said that Wilkins and I boxed him in.
Disqualified you.
Yeah. But it was just a 2-year-old brown colt that I rode.
Did you race bareback?
No, I had a saddle,
Light saddle? Or just a stock saddle?
just a saddle.
Yeah. Did you like racing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with us kids used to race.
Yeah, I'm sure all kids did. So would you take a quirt or just use your reins to get them to go?
Probably had a little quirt.
Yeah.
I had my uncle's quirt. It was in the basement, but I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Well, that's pretty good stories.